back, everyone. Woo-hoo! When you hear that, you know that Michael Henderson, he's the owner of Tapestry Insurance Group. He is here, and I'm so excited to have you here today. I've had you here 3 times this month.
It's been crazy.
It has. But you know what? You have been doing what you do for a very long time.
Yeah.
I want you to talk a little bit about that. Somebody asked how you got into it.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about what it is that you do and how you help somebody and how much you love it. Because that's what makes you different.
I started years ago, and I started as an employee of a carrier, of an insurance carrier with the Medicare. Now, before that, I did life insurance and some things like that for small groups. I started working for a carrier, and we know the story of my first appointment, working with a 93-year-old woman that back in the day. And I just fell in love with it. I really did. It's so different from other types of insurance and things where, it's more of a sales thing with insurances a lot of times. Whereas Medicare, I feel like our job in the Medicare space is to help educate people because they come from a place where they've just been on group insurance or something their whole lives. And so it's very, it's a daunting thing when somebody turns 65 or retires and they're shoved into this insurance world they know nothing about.
Right.
And so I just love it.
You do. And let me just say something about you. You are the seniors advocate. You truly are. It's all about education, and every time you come on, for years you've been saying this one thing, and that's please call somebody local.
Yeah, I really believe in that. Of course, we'd like to be the place that you call, of course, our office. But the big thing for me, and this goes to the education part, is just be working with somebody local. Somebody local knows the market. They know all the insurance players in that market a lot of times, hopefully, and they know, networks of doctors and hospitals and things a little bit better than somebody just staring at it on a computer screen. So I'm a big proponent of working with somebody locally. Also, after you enroll in a plan, who are you going to call if you have problems? And obviously you can call the insurance carrier, but you have to know the right questions to ask sometimes and things like that. So having an advocate or an insurance agent on your side also, I believe, helps.
Absolutely. You also cover the entire Southwest.
We do, yeah.
And the great thing about that is that each one of them, they're trained by you, so they're little U's.
Yeah.
And they are there when, like, let's say someone calls and you or you're the gal in the front. I don't remember her name.
Manager Norma. Yeah.
They will connect you with somebody in your area if you're not in this, and that's what's great. And they're all going to help you in the same manner that you're talking about.
Yeah, we all have the same goal, and that's educating the community on Medicare. And because you're in the driver's seat as a Medicare eligible person, we want you to have the information so you can make a good decision for yourself, and we're there to support that along the way. But yeah, if you call and you're in Prescott or you're in Tucson or you're in the, our office is in the East Valley, so if you're in the West Valley or something like that, we're going to connect you with a local agent there that you can work with.
That is going to help you, just like Michael.
Yeah, just like Mike.
But here's the other thing that we want to talk about, because when you mention how, if you enroll, even however you get there, when there's questions, because there's questions all the time.
Sure, yeah.
And things change. Right now we just started the new year. A lot of people start going to their doctors right away.
Yep.
But the thing is that a lot of times they get a different prescription now. And that changes things, and people don't realize. I don't even think they know if they got to call you.
Yeah, prescriptions change from time to time as we get older. Things happen. Maybe we're on a high blood pressure medication, and then we get on a cholesterol, whatever. And you have to make sure that your plan, it's in your what they call the formulary. Doctors change too. We're in an era where you might have been with your doctor for the last 20 years or something, but they're now retiring. That happens as well. And so sometimes
and that's
people...
really lousy when that happens, especially if you really liked them.
Yeah, or a doctor changes maybe doctor's offices or something like that. And so sometimes people change plans for that reason, So
I also think, I was just thinking in my head as you were talking about this, is that because now a lot of things are corporate.
Yeah,
they're
a lot of doctor's offices are being bought.
And so that it changes maybe your doctor's no longer affiliated with them for whatever
Yeah.
reason, and now that has also made things change.
We've had that happen over the years, where a
Really?
big conglomerate will come in and buy a medical group because
Mhm.
they're getting tired or whatever,
Mhm.
you know, and so then a lot of those people have to change plans because they may not accept the same number of plans or something like that. A lot of the things that we saw this year or last year coming into this year was plans changing. So the benefits will also change from year to year on a plan sometimes. And if you don't read your ANOC letter, which we talked about during AEP,
Which most people
right?
don't.
Most people don't. Then you don't know, to your point, until you go use the plan the next year. And so that's why we work with people year round, is because sometimes people need to change plans during the year, and so we have to see if there's an election period, all that stuff.
So, you want to call him direct, it's 480-847-0701. This is a free service to you, and I think first of all, you're a people person, okay?
I like people.
You are a people's person, and you make a complicated subject, you make it not only more understable, but fun.
I try to.
You do, you're a fun guy.
Ask anybody but my mother. She doesn't think I make it uncomplicated.
Well, okay.
But we do. No, all joking aside, it
Yeah.
is a very serious topic. And we try to make it fun and things, but it's serious. Sometimes we meet with people that, they turn 65 and they're on employer group insurance and they're going in the middle of cancer treatments or something like that. So it's really important to make sure people are educated on what their options are and what they can do in the Medicare space.
There's another thing that we just haven't brought up. We're going to bring it up.
Okay,
right
let's
now.
do it.
Every day
It's
is
a Medicare day.
And a lot of
Yes.
people think that you just work, from October to whenever, December,
Yeah.
and that's it. But that is not the case at
Right.
all.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the big time of year is during what they call annual enrollment, AEP, which is October 15th through December 7th, which we just finished up with, thank goodness. But, yes, people need help year-round. People are retiring year-round. People are turning 65 or
People
moving.
move in.
Yeah, so any day's a Medicare day, and we're here to help. We don't just work during AEP, we work year-round, and our agents do as well, and that's really important because we want to be there to help you. And that goes back to that thing we said earlier about customer service side of things too, is you need to have somebody that you can call after you enroll. Obviously, there's an 800 number on the back of your card to call the carrier that you enroll with, but still, it's nice to have somebody local that you
Somebody
can talk to.
can talk to.
Yes.
And, seniors, you got to admit, you like that. There's nothing like having that connection.
Yeah.
I got my guy, Michael. He's going to help me.
I got a guy.
Yeah, exactly. Now, again, that phone number is 480-847-0701. They service the entire Southwest, and this is a free service to you. It just makes sense. A lot of people, they just say, well, that's too good to be true.
Yeah, obviously we do get paid. I mean, we're able to pay our bills, but it doesn't come from our clients. You don't pay us a fee, and your costs for your insurance aren't any higher than if you enroll directly with the carrier. The carriers pay us to educate the community.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we get paid. So yeah, you're not out of pocket anything talking to us.
The other thing is that because you are a broker, you're open to everything. When you call, let's say, on the television, they think that, they have all of these people that think that,
Yeah.
what his name is, whatever, Joe Napier
Yeah.
is going to call. But, it's different. Explain.
Yeah, so we're brokers, so we can contract with just about any carrier out there. Not all carriers go through brokers. I do have to say that,
Okay.
but most here in Arizona do. And we work with most of those carriers, and so we're not trying to guide you to a specific plan.
Right.
Again, we're educating you. You're in the driver's seat. We want to educate you. We want to listen to what your needs are, and then we'll come with a couple plans that might fit for your needs, and then you make the choice.
That's awesome.
We're not trying to railroad you into a specific plan or carrier.
Well, let me tell you something. Every day is a Medicare day. It doesn't matter if you are turning 65. If you are a senior and you've got Medicare,
Yep.
there's always some questions. Don't go to Google. We're going to talk a little bit about that when we come back on a break. And the main thing is to please call someone local. Michael is here,
Yeah.
and they cover the entire Southwest. His phone number, again, it's 480-847-0701. 847-0701. It is a free service to you. Please, it just makes sense to give him a call. We're going to go to a break. When we're going to come back, we're going to talk further. And we didn't say hi to everybody on
We
Facebook.
didn't. I've been waving to them a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, you have been. And, you know, I think the main thing is that with this show, what I like too, is that people have that voice. You have the voice to be able to educate the public out there. And especially with when it comes to Medicare, most seniors talk to their friends, talk to their neighbors, everybody, and you know what? Get it from the source.
Yep.
It is free service to you. His number is 480-847-0701. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Okay, that was okay without talking about what we were going to do.
Yeah, we know what we're doing.
So we are going to come back and talk about turning 65 if it's okay.
Yeah. And then I
Are
think
you
we
cool?
could. It's a little
It's
chillier
a little
in here
chilly?
today, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
I like chilly.
It's snowing in here.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it is. I'm freezing.
Well, you're cold. I'm never cold.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Yeah. We've got, maybe, and I think, you know, we talked a little bit about plans that, you know, people's plans changed from last year to this year. You know, maybe hospital costs went up. Maybe they lost some dental insurance off their plan or something like that. So we talked last session, we were together about ancillary products. And I think those are important as we evolve, because CMS, Center for Medicare Services, isn't reimbursing the carriers keeping up with the costs of medical stuff, so they have to cut benefits sometimes. And so there are insurances to help cover some of those things that maybe people are uncomfortable with or something like that, like we talked about last time, hospital indemnity, dental, things like that.
We
And
could
they're
talk
not very
a little bit about
expensive,
that.
so maybe we hit on that as well. But yeah, there's some, you know, I think it's important. We run into people all the time that are retiring, and like we talked about, people are turning 65, but I think there's as many people that have delayed retirement because Social Security, you know, and things, and cost of living, and so people are retiring at 67, 68, 70.
That's changed.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I probably work for the rest of my life.
I had a lady, the only reason she retired, I met with her, this was several years ago, but she was laid off from a university at 82. Yeah, she would have still been working.
She was laid off. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, they had a big layoff at the school. This was years ago, and so she finally retired at 82.
Wow.
So you know.
But isn't it beautiful? You know what I mean? And
It's great.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
And it's not because she. Well, I don't know. I don't remember specifically right now their financial status and stuff, but I don't know that she stayed working because she had to. She just loved it.
Yeah,
Loved something to do.
a lot of people do.
Yeah. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Sit around the house?
You know, it's funny that you mention that because I know a lot of people.
Coming back in 30.
My ex-husband is I think 74, and you know they retired. He retired, but then he didn't because he was so bored.
Yeah, I've had lots of clients do that.
Yeah, a lot.
Mostly the ones that don't play golf.
Or travel. Exactly. But how many times can you do that?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, after a while.
Yeah, exactly. It can get old.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I had a client go back to work.
So welcome
We're
back.
back.
Oh my God, woohoo!
Woohoo!
When you hear that, we know that we have Michael Henderson, and he is the owner of Tapestry Insurance Group. We talk about Medicare, and it's amazing how you can go on and
Oh, I
on
can
and
talk all
on. There's
day.
there's
Yeah.
a million things to talk about it. And during the break, one of the things that you were talking about was ancillary products, and people
Yeah.
need to know a little bit about those.
Yeah, you know, we haven't seen benefits in Medicare plans, specifically Medicare Advantage, take drawbacks for 10 years. They've just constantly gotten better and better. You know, dental used to not be a thing in Medicare plans. Now, then it became where it was people got free dental, and you know, the costs on these plans are very, very low, which is great. But when CMS, Center for Medicare Services, doesn't keep up with their reimbursement rates to keep up with inflation in medical, they have to pull back on some of those benefits sometimes. And so that's where some of these ancillary benefits come in. If your hospital copay is too high, There's hospital indemnity policies that aren't very expensive to help give you peace of mind. If you have lost dental on your Medicare plan, you know, there are dental plans that you can get that don't have to be really expensive and can give you freedom of choice, and then it doesn't really matter if you change plans next year, you still have your dental plan. You know, so there is something to be said for having separate plans, because then if one changes, they don't all change, right?
And it's unfortunate, but as you get older, dental
Stuff
issues
matters, yeah.
really, and
Yeah.
and there's so much.
Yeah.
But the only way you're going to know what's really right for you is if you talk to somebody.
Yeah, and I am the first person, I am not a proponent of over-insuring. I just think that that's really silly, and this sounds crazy coming from an insurance guy, right?
But I like it.
Yeah, but I'm a fan of insuring for what your comfort level is and your risks are, and that's through education and through, you know, you having that information. If you don't know those things are out there, how can you even make a decision, right? So, yeah.
And when you go to Dr. Google, I don't think they even talk about, I don't even know if people would even know to ask that.
Yeah, a lot of people we find in insurance, specifically Medicare, and again, we talked a little bit about this in the first segment, very briefly, but most people are on an employer group plan their whole lives, or their spouse's employer group plan. They've never made a decision about health insurance, except for how much is coming out of their paycheck, and that's how they decide, right? Well, now we've got all these plans available. You got the ABCDs of Medicare and all this stuff, and there's a lot of information. And until you are able to boil that down, it can be really scary.
Yeah, it's just very confusing.
Yeah, and so Google's great for some information sometimes, but you need to get that local information. You need to talk to somebody that cares about your situation, because there's a lot of plans out there, and we need to help you make a decision based on your situation.
He is your seniors advocate, truly, truly is. Check him out. It's his phone number to call. Oh, we know what we never talked about today?
What's that?
We have to. When you call him,
leave a message.
And there's a reason why we say that. I can't believe I didn't say it.
Yeah.
So it is 480-847-0701 and leave a message.
Yeah, it's important. We are a highly governed industry, which I think is good personally. I know a lot of agents would probably shoot me for saying that, but I think it's good that we're highly regulated. And one of those things is we can't just grab the phone book and start calling people we think are over 65. So if you call, we can't just call you back unless we know who you are, and because we have to have permission to call, so to speak.
So leave a message, and he'll call you back and help you. And here's another thing that people need to know too. There's no stupid questions when it comes to Medicare.
Not at all, folks. We're dealing with your health care, and we're dealing with your financial situation as it pertains to health care. We're not investment advisors, but we're dealing with those two things, put them together into one big mess, and that's what we're working with. And so there's no stupid question. You know, we want you to have the answers that you need to make a good decision.
People turn 65 every day.
Yeah. Last statistic I had just in Arizona was 4,000 people a month. This was a few years ago.
That's a lot.
4,000 people a month turning 65 in just Arizona. So that's a lot of people, and we're just a few lowly agents out there, but we definitely try to get the information out as much as we can.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, and you know, please, when you call, leave a message and let him see how he can help you. 480-847-0701, and he covers the entire Southwest. That's another thing.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you some questions about turning 65, because there are a lot of people out there that don't realize what they need to do, and there's a lot of people. We were talking about people who are working, right, till you mentioned a woman that was working till she was 82.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people out there that may just be a solopreneur, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And they also get Medicare, and you know, you might have worked younger and it was put in. You're going to find out. How do you find out if you qualify? If you're, let's say you are, we've never talked about this.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, so first of all, Medicare, there's two parts to Medicare, A and B. Okay, A is your hospital side and B is your doctor's office, basically, for a quick radio synopsis. A You pay into you pay into Medicare through your taxes, through your employment taxes.
Okay.
So you pay in a portion of your paycheck with your taxes every year to Medicare and Social Security. So that entitles you to Medicare. You have to have worked paid into Medicare 10 years. You have to have 40 credits, 40 quarters. That's 10 years at 4 quarters. And that's what entitles you to Part A for no cost. Part B there is a cost for. It's roughly it's a little over $200 a month right now. And you opt in for that. And then you get into all the things like Part D and things like that. So there's a lot to interpret. But yes, you have to have worked and paid your taxes for 10 years into Social Security and Medicare, and that's what qualifies you for.
So now you find out you're qualified.
Yep.
Okay, which everybody's excited about
Yay.
getting on, about getting on Medicare. There are some things, like you said, there is a cost to part of it. I think people think there's no cost. I think they think it's free. I think they think that it just happens automatically, that you're just going to get a card in the mail and Social Security's going to handle all of that.
Yep.
But it doesn't work out like that.
It's not always automatic. Part A does happen when you turn 65, even if you're still working. Part B is optional, so you do opt in for it. So if you're still working and you have great insurance and your company's paying for it all, you don't need to opt into Part B necessarily, but you can give us a call to find out if you'd like to. But I would say, to answer your question about how to prepare, you want to prepare about 90 days from when you want to start your Part B. So if that's when you turn 65, about 3 months out, talk to Social Security and get signed up for Part B. If you're retiring from work at 70 or something like that, about 3 months before your retirement, start working with Social Security to get that Part B turned on when you're going to be leaving your work, so you don't have a lapse in insurance. And then if you have questions, of course, call us and we can walk you through that.
Leave a message.
And don't forget to leave a message. Yeah.
But I think it's important that people hear this, because that's the thing is they don't. We say it all the time, Mike. It's you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And there's just so much information when it comes to this, and the only way you're going to know is please talk to someone local. That's the one thing that we want, local, that's going to help you in your area.
Yeah, I'm just a big proponent of it. I know we're in this mode these days of shopping online, and it's very, very convenient. And that's fine if you're buying a t-shirt. You order a size medium or large t-shirt, it's probably going to fit you or whatever, right? It's different with something like insurance, I think.
Especially this kind of
Especially
insurance.
health insurance, yeah. It deals with your health and it deals with your finances.
Quickly, there are a lot of people that are moving here.
Yes.
And they probably don't even realize that they do have to get
Yeah.
Medicare here.
They have a special election period to change plans if they're on an Advantage plan or a prescription drug plan. And so, yes, you need to change plans to where you live.
So the best thing to do is to call him and have a consultation. This is a free service to you, and it's so important that a lot of people, we've even talked about this before, that don't know that you exist.
Tons. I hear it all the time. Most people, not most, but a lot of people are referred to us through friends and family or something, maybe they hear on the radio, maybe they know somebody that we've worked with in the past. But a lot of it is referral because, people don't know we are here to help. They see a lot of ads on TV for insurance carriers and things. But there are people like us that help, that aren't affiliated with a carrier, that really just want to get you the information.
Please, I think that is the most important thing.
I do too.
You got to realize that and unfortunately seniors, and they just don't know. They don't realize it. And the commercials are so enticing, and they make it very it's almost like it's on the verge of walking on the line where it's really not even true. But you know what, folks? Don't call the 800 numbers. Also be careful for the mail that you get in, right? People that knock on your door or whatever.
Yeah, you're gonna get a ton of mail during AEP and when you're turning 65 and things, but a lot of it's advertisements. So if it doesn't come from Social Security or if it doesn't come from Medicare or the insurance carrier you're on, it's probably just an advertisement. Call
Michael. The phone number to call is area code 480-847-0701. He services the entire Southwest. It is a free service to you. Give him a call and leave a message.
Leave a message. Woohoo!
Woohoo!